Welcome to Deep Dive. This podcast is brought to you by Liminal Martech. Liminal is the first Portuguese company specialized in strategic consulting and marketing operations. If you want to grow your business and deliver better customer experiences with marketing technologies such as CRM, automation, and BI, go to www.liminal.pt and find how. Today, we're going to be diving into, the strategic heart of customer relationship management,
Right.
CRM,
Right.
focusing on kind of the often overlooked aspect of customer value.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to unpack, from academic insights to real-world case studies, all drawn from Customer Relationship Management by Kumar and Werner Reinartz. It's from 2018.
Indeed. And it's a really relevant topic in today's business landscape. Understanding customer value. It's not I wouldn't say it's a luxury anymore. It's a necessity for sustainable growth and being profitable.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that I thought was really interesting in the material was this idea of CRM evolving from a simple tool to something much bigger, almost like a philosophy shift.
Yeah, it's a fundamental shift, I would say, from like a transactional to a relational approach. So we've moved from simply tracking interactions to strategically building. This is the ideal, right? But profitable long-term relationships with our most valuable customers.
So it's not just about making a sale, it's about building kind of a bond that benefits both parties in the long run. And this shift seems very closely tied to this whole idea of customer lifetime value, or CLV as it's often called.
Precisely. CLV is a really powerful concept. Imagine being able to kind of predict how much profit a customer will generate for your business over the entire course of your relationship with them. That's CLV in a nutshell, and it allows businesses to make incredibly informed decisions about their customers.
It's like having a crystal ball, but instead of predicting the future, it helps you shape it in a way.
Yeah.
The material mentions a German telephone company that used CLV to tackle their customer churn problem, which I thought was a really interesting example. Can you kind of walk us through that?
Absolutely. This company, was losing customers to competitors at kind of an alarming rate. But instead of just throwing more money at marketing, which, a lot of companies tend to do, they got strategic. So they started leveraging, customer data to calculate CLV, which revealed which customer segments were the most profitable over the lifetime.
So they could see who their VIPs really were. What did they do with that information once they sort of identified them?
They used that insight to create hyper-targeted marketing campaigns. These were tailored to their most valuable customer segments. So it was all about deepening those relationships, making those customers feel valued. And the result, churn rates plummeted, and their average customer profitability, it soared.
That's a fantastic example of how understanding CLV can lead to kind of tangible, bottom line results. And it also highlights how crucial data analysis is in modern CRM. Speaking of data, another tool that I thought was interesting was the RFM model.
Yeah.
It sounds very technical. Can you break it down for us?
RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. Basically, it's a system for ranking your customers, but not just on how much they spend. Imagine you run an online bookstore.
Okay. Yeah.
An RFM high customer would be someone who ordered recently, buys, a new book every month, and spends, a considerable amount on those limited edition copies.
That makes perfect sense. You're not just looking at how much they spend at any given time, but their kind of overall pattern of engagement with your business.
Precisely. And the book gives this great example of how an Italian credit card issuer used this model. So they revamped their acquisition campaigns, they analyzed their existing customer data, identified the RFM characteristics of their most profitable cardholders, and then targeted their marketing efforts toward finding more people who fit that same profile. It's about working smarter, not harder.
That's brilliant. It's like using a customer blueprint to attract more of your ideal clients.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've discussed identifying those high-value customers. How do we ensure they stay with us? That's where loyalty programs come in, right?
They certainly can, but I wouldn't say they're a magic bullet. While incredibly popular, the effectiveness and cost efficiency, really, of loyalty programs are often debated. Some programs simply reward simply reward repeat purchases without necessarily cultivating true loyalty or driving profitability.
Right. So it's not enough to just offer points or discounts. There has to be a more strategic approach.
Exactly. It's about offering real value to the customer, but not just kind of a superficial reward. Take Tesco. They're a major UK retailer. They had tremendous success really by using their loyalty program data to understand individual customer preferences and tailoring their offerings accordingly. So they analyze what their loyal customers buy and then send them targeted coupons or highlight products they might like based on their purchase history.
It's about making those customers feel seen and understood, not just like marketed to.
Yeah,
Exactly. Now, one thing that comes up a lot with CRM and data collection is data privacy, which is, it's a hot topic and rightfully so. How can companies kind of walk that fine line between gathering valuable customer information and respecting privacy concerns?
It's a delicate balance, but it's crucial to get right. Transparency, I would say, is paramount. Companies need to be very open about what data they collect, how they use it, and most importantly, how they protect it.
So clear communication is key.
Absolutely. Customers are more likely to trust a company that is upfront about its data practices. Additionally, I think providing customers with control over their data is essential. They should have the ability to access, modify, or even delete their data if they choose to.
It's all about giving customers agency over their information. Now, another challenge that seems almost inherent to modern CRM is managing multi-channel engagement. Customers interact with businesses through so many touch points now, websites, social media, mobile apps, in-store experiences. How do you create a seamless experience across all of these channels?
That's one of the biggest challenges businesses face today, really. This is a weird analogy, but it's like trying to conduct an orchestra with musicians playing different instruments, but they're all playing at different tempos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can quickly become chaotic if you don't have a clear strategy in place.
So how do you bring all those instruments into harmony, so to speak?
Consistency, I would say. Consistency is key. Customers should have this unified experience regardless of how they're interacting with your brand. This means ensuring consistent messaging, branding, and customer service across all channels. It's about breaking down the silos between different departments and creating this seamless customer journey. It's really about, I think, a fundamental shift in how businesses operate, and it requires buy-in from every level of the organization.
Yeah.
But when it's done right, it can lead to significantly improve customer satisfaction, loyalty, and ultimately profitability.
It's about creating a customer experience that's greater than the sum of its parts. Right?
Exactly.
The source material mentions American Express as a company that's kind of excelled in this area.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing differently, would you say?
So American Express, they've invested really heavily in data integration and analytics. Mm-hmm.
Which allows them to kind of personalize their interactions and deliver this consistent customer experience across all channels. So whether a customer is, using their website, using their mobile app, or even speaking, directly with a customer service representative,
Right.
They recognize that, every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce their brand promise and deepen that customer relationship.
It's about meeting the customer where they are, right? With the information and support that they need at that given moment, at that touch point.
Exactly.
Now, up until this point, our discussion has focused primarily on kind of business to consumer or B2C relationships.
Right.
But what about business to business or B2B?
Yeah.
Do the same kind of CRM principles apply in that context?
Absolutely. While there are, some inherent, I guess, differences between B2B and B2C relationships, the fundamental principles of CRM, I think, hold true in both contexts.
It's still all about, building these strong, mutually beneficial relationships that deliver value for both parties.
So what are some of the kind of key considerations for implementing a successful CRM strategy in a B2B environment?
I think one of the biggest differences is that B2B relationships are often much more kind of complex. They involve multiple stakeholders on both sides. You're not just dealing with a single consumer. You're often dealing with entire teams or departments, each with their own, priorities and decision-making processes. So relationship management becomes even more, I think, crucial in a B2B context.
It's about building trust and rapport with multiple individuals
Yeah.
within an organization, not just one person.
Exactly. And because B2B sales cycles, I think, tend to be much longer and involve higher value transactions, the stakes are often, much higher. This means that building those strong relationships, understanding your client's needs really, really deeply, and providing these tailored solutions is absolutely paramount.
It's about becoming like a trusted advisor almost, right?
Yeah.
Like a partner in their success as opposed to just a vendor.
Precisely. The book actually talks about this concept called key account management.
Okay.
Or KAM, which is a kind of a specialized approach to managing relationships with a company's most important clients.
So it's like having a VIP program, but for your most valuable business clients.
You could say that. KAM involves identifying your key accounts, assigning dedicated account managers to really nurture those relationships and proactively addressing their concerns. It's about going above and beyond to demonstrate your commitment to their success.
It sounds like a very kind of hands-on, relationship-driven approach.
It really is.
Yeah.
And when it's done right, it can lead to these long-term, mutually beneficial partnerships. 3M is a great example of a company that's really successfully implemented KAM.
Okay.
They have a dedicated KAM team that works really closely with their key clients to understand their needs, develop these customized solutions, and provide that ongoing support. It's a strategic investment in their most valuable relationships.
It's about shifting from transactional to relational, right?
Yes.
From vendor to partner.
Exactly.
Now, switching gears a bit, let's talk about customer churn.
Mm-hmm.
It's a challenge every business faces, but it can feel especially daunting in today's kind of hyper-competitive market.
Yeah.
What are some effective strategies for combating churn and keeping those customers engaged?
You're right. Customer churn is a constant battle, really, for businesses. And the first step to winning that battle, I think, is understanding why customers are leaving in the first place.
Right.
Are they unhappy with your product or service? Are they finding better deals elsewhere? Are they having issues with customer service?
Right.
Once you understand the root cause of the churn, you can then start implementing strategies to address those issues head on.
So it's like a doctor diagnosing a patient before prescribing treatment, right?
Exactly.
You have to know what you're dealing with.
If the problem is, a subpar product, you need to focus on innovation and improvement.
Right.
If it's pricing, you might need to revisit your pricing strategy or offer, special promotions to stay competitive. And if it's customer service, well, then you need to invest in training your team and creating a more customer-centric culture.
It's about identifying the pain points and addressing them proactively as opposed to just kind of reacting after the fact.
Precisely. And it's often, much more cost effective to retain existing customers than it is to acquire new ones.
Right.
So investing in churn reduction strategies is just good business sense.
Makes sense.
The book mentions a telecommunications company that successfully reduced churn by using a customer lifetime value or CLV-based approach.
That sounds intriguing. How do they use CLV to combat churn?
They analyze their customer data and identify their kind of their most valuable customers, those with the highest CLV, and they then developed targeted retention campaigns specifically designed to keep these high value customers happy and engaged.
Okay.
They recognized that not all customers are created equal,
Right.
and it made strategic sense to really focus their efforts on retaining their most profitable segments.
It's about kind of prioritizing your efforts and your resources where they'll have the biggest impact.
Exactly.
Now, we've talked a lot about customer lifetime value, but the source material also mentions this concept of customer brand value.
Yes.
How are those two concepts different?
That's a great question. While customer lifetime value, I think, focuses primarily on the financial aspect of the customer relationship, how much revenue a customer generates over their lifetime, customer brand value takes a kind of a broader perspective.
Okay.
It considers the overall impact a customer has on the brand, encompassing both, financial and even non-financial contributions.
So it's about more than just the the bottom line.
Exactly. Customer brand value considers things like, brand loyalty, advocacy, word of mouth marketing, and even social media engagement.
Okay.
It recognizes that customers can be these incredibly valuable brand ambassadors, influencing others and shaping, brand perception.
It's about the ripple effect almost, right? Of a positive customer experience.
Precisely. And the fascinating thing is that customer brand value and customer lifetime value are often, very, very intertwined. Customers who have that really strong emotional connection with a brand are much more likely to be loyal, to spend more, and to recommend the brand to others, all of which, of course, contribute to customer lifetime value.
So it's a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of customer engagement, we can't have a conversation about modern CRM without talking about social media.
Right.
It's become such a ubiquitous part of our lives these days.
Mm-hmm.
How has it kind of transformed the CRM landscape in your view?
Social media has really, I would say, revolutionized the way businesses interact with their customers.
Okay.
It's really created this like direct line of communication, allowing for real-time engagement and feedback.
It's like having a public forum almost, where customers can share their experiences, ask questions, voice their opinions, both positive and negative.
Exactly. And it's not just about, broadcasting your message. It's about listening and responding to your customer.
Right.
Social media platforms have become these incredibly valuable tools for gathering customer insights, monitoring brand sentiment, and identifying potential issues before they kind of escalate.
It's about being part of the conversation, not just talking at your customer.
Exactly. And that's where I think the concept of social CRM comes in.
Social CRM. Tell me more.
So social CRM is really all about, I would say, integrating social media into your overall kind of CRM strategy.
Right.
It's about using social media to listen to and engage with your customers, build relationships, provide customer service, and even generate leads.
It's about meeting your customers where they are, which increasingly is on social media.
Precisely. And it's about, being authentic and engaging.
Mm-hmm.
Customers can spot a marketing ploy a mile away. They want to connect with brands that are genuine, that are transparent, and that are responsive. The book mentions KLM, the Dutch airline, as a company that's really successfully leveraged social media to enhance their customer relationships.
What can we learn from their approach?
KLM has really made social media a core part of their customer service strategy.
Okay.
They have a dedicated social media team that monitors social media channels, around the clock, responding to customer inquiries really, really promptly and efficiently.
Wow.
They've also used social media to share, valuable content, build relationships with customers, and really kind of showcase their brand personality.
It's a great example of how to kind of use social media to create a more human, customer-centric brand experience as opposed to just blasting out marketing messages.
Exactly.
Now, with all this talk about data and social media and technology, we can't forget about kind of one of the most crucial aspects of CRM, and that's customer privacy.
Yeah.
How can businesses ensure they're using customer data ethically and responsibly, especially in light of increasing regulations and growing consumer awareness around these issues?
You've hit on a really critical point. As businesses gain access to more and more customer data, it becomes even more imperative to handle that data with the utmost care and respect.
Right.
Transparency, I would say, is paramount. Customers need to understand how their data is being collected, how it's being used, and how it's being shared. And they need to be given, control over their data with the ability to access it, to modify it, or even to delete it at any time.
It's about empowering the customer and giving them agency over their information.
Precisely. And it's not just about, complying with regulations like GDPR.
Right.
It's about doing what's right. Building trust is fundamental to any successful customer relationship. And that trust is built on this foundation of transparency and respect for customer privacy. The book mentions Facebook
Right.
as a kind of a cautionary tale.
Right. They face a lot of scrutiny and criticism over their over their data practices,
Yeah.
which damaged their reputation and eroded customer trust.
Exactly. It's a stark reminder that ethical data stewardship is not just a legal requirement. It's a business imperative.
Absolutely. Now, looking ahead a little bit, what does the future hold for CRM? What are some of the emerging technologies and trends that you see kind of shaping the next generation of customer relationship management?
That's a great question. One of the, I would say, most transformative technologies that I'm seeing is artificial intelligence or
Right.
AI.
Yeah.
AI is being used to automate tasks, to personalize experiences, to predict customer behavior, and to really provide businesses with real-time insights that can be used to make more informed decisions.
It's like having a superpowered CRM assistant working behind the scenes.
Exactly. Machine learning,
Mhm.
which is a kind of, a subset of AI,
Mm.
is also playing an increasingly important uh, role in CRM.
All right.
Machine learning algorithms can analyze these, vast amounts of data to identify patterns, to make predictions, and to personalize customer experiences in ways that really weren't possible before.
It's about using the power of technology to create more intelligent, more adaptive CRM systems.
Precisely. And then we have, the Internet of Things or IoT,
Right.
which is connecting, everyday devices to the internet
Yeah.
and generating this torrent of data about customer behavior.
Yeah.
Data can be incredibly valuable for personalizing offers, for improving products and services, and for creating these more seamless and engaging customer experiences.
It's like having a digital fingerprint of customer behavior that can be used to kind of anticipate their needs and deliver more personalized experiences, right?
Exactly. And we can't forget about blockchain,
Right.
which is a decentralized and secure ledger that really has the potential to revolutionize, I think, CRM by enhancing data security, by enabling more transparent and trustworthy customer relationships, and even powering, new types of loyalty programs.
It sounds like the future of CRM is brimming with exciting possibilities.
It really is.
What are some of the other kind of trends you see on the horizon?
One trend that I'm seeing, gaining a lot of momentum is omni-channel CRM,
Okay.
which is really about, creating this seamless and consistent customer experience across all channels, both online and offline.
So it's about kind of blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds in a way.
Exactly. It's about meeting the customer where they are, whether that's online, whether it's in store, whether it's, on the go, and providing that really unified and personalized experience across all touch points.
It's about creating a customer experience that's greater than the sum of its parts.
Precisely. And we're seeing I think a growing emphasis on customer experience management or CEM,
Yeah.
which really recognizes that the customer experience is a key differentiator in today's, incredibly competitive market.
It's not just about, selling products or services.
Yeah.
It's about creating those really memorable experiences that foster loyalty and advocacy.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's the ongoing evolution of technology. We're seeing, a rise in the use of voice assistants, chatbots, augmented reality, virtual reality, all of which have the potential to further, enhance the customer experience and create new possibilities for engagement.
It's an exciting time to be involved in the world of CRM with so much innovation and disruption happening at such a rapid pace.
Absolutely. And as technology continues to evolve, we can expect to see, even more innovative and transformative applications of CRM in the years to come.
It's really incredible to think about how far CRM has come and how much more potential there is, I think, to transform businesses.
Yeah.
But before we get too caught up in the future, I want to kind of circle back to something we've touched on a few times throughout this deep dive, and that's customer value. It seems like everything we've discussed, from CLV to loyalty programs to like emerging technologies, it all comes back to this core concept.
You're absolutely right. Customer value is really the heart and soul, I would say, of CRM. It's the driving force behind every strategic decision, every technological investment, every customer interaction.
So for our listener who's been taking notes this whole time and walked away with a notebook full of ideas and insights, what's the kind of one key takeaway you want them to remember about customer value?
The most important thing I think to remember is this, understanding your customer's value. It's not just a theoretical exercise. It's
Right.
it's the foundation for building a really sustainable and successful business.
Hmm.
It's about recognizing that your customers are your most valuable asset and treating them accordingly.
It's about building those genuine, mutually beneficial relationships that stand the test of time, right?
Exactly, and that requires a deep understanding of their needs, of their preferences, of their motivations. It's about using data not just to track transactions, but to build connections and create experiences that really resonate.
It's about, yeah, moving beyond kind of a transactional mindset to embrace a more, a more human-centered approach.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, this has been an incredible journey. We've explored the depths of strategic CRM and customer value. We've covered so much from the evolution of CRM, the importance of customer lifetime value, the power of loyalty programs, the exciting possibilities of emerging technologies.
It's been a fascinating conversation, and
Yeah.
I hope our listener has gained some valuable insights that they can apply to their own businesses or even their own careers.
Me too. Because at the end of the day, CRM is all about, people, right? People connecting with people.
Hmm.
And when those connections are genuine, when they're built on this foundation of mutual respect and understanding, that's when the magic really happens.
I couldn't agree more.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of strategic CRM and customer value. It's been an absolute pleasure picking your brain.
The pleasure was all mine.
And for our listeners, if you're ready to harness the power of MarTech to transform your business and build those really meaningful customer relationships, go to www.liminal.pt if you want to know how to grow your business with MarTech.